One-day conferences, two-day conferences, they are very common, whether you're doing this internally for your company or whether you're doing it for your customers. Conferences are great ways to interact. They're great ways to have fun. And I was actually going through LinkedIn and I found this. Shout out to Liz Lathan. Liz shared this. There is a great new way to keep your audience entertained and keep them engaged while they are walking around the conference for your event. And this is a picture that she took called Duck Hunt. Now you can see here on the screen that there's even a little bag of ducks and there is a poem that's in there. And what if is the question here. What if you created a game for your conference attendees, for your event attendees to play in a scavenger hunt? At the end of this video, you are going to know what does it look like to play this game, but more than that, we're going to answer these questions that Lynn asked, like how do you keep the ducks from getting tossed out? What do people get if they find a duck? And what if it's at the end of the event and they haven't been found yet? That's all behind my head right there, which I'll put on the screen. So you can see those 3 questions. We're gonna be answering those in this video. And so that's one of the first things that we need to do is to come up with a set of instructions that are clear for everybody. Now, later in this year, I am actually talking with a car group about going and being the MC of their event. What if instead of ducks, they had cars, little like Matchbox cars that were scattered all throughout the event? And you can read here that they created a poem. They might have used ChatGPT to do so. I would have. And it says, tiny ducks have been hidden around the place with a sneaky grin upon my face. It'll take all day, maybe more, to find these ducks will be quite a chore. 100 ducks so small and bright, each hiding spot a secret delight. Though the hunt at times may seem quite wild, each little duck will make you smile. The laughs will come, the shouts will start, a harmless prank, a work of art. So this is a really fun idea. As you can see, it got some engagement. People are commenting below. Someone from AWS, that's Amazon Web Services, 99% sure. Lynn commented, say, okay, I love this. She even asked some questions. People are like, yes, I love this. From Kenneth, secret side quest for attendees. 100% I'm in also. So if you think this is a great idea, which I do, the question is, well, how would you like actually implement this? What would you do? And so I created a couple of things. Number one is I created a couple of prompts for how to create a one-day event. And then I fed it into the event builder online tool called Builder, where it created a timeline for me. So if, again, I mentioned I'm gonna be the MC of a conference, a sales conference for a car manufacturing company. And so here is an example of what a one-day conference would look like. There's morning, there's midday, there's afternoon, and there's evening. Then I took all of this and I fed it into the timeline builder with an event builder. So I created the car company conference, the CCC for short. And you can see I fed it in here. And then the other prompts that I created, so that was to create the timeline. And this was using, if you want to check out a previous video, I'll put the card here. This is for how to write correct prompts, really not engaging, but how to write effective prompts and how to engineer them to get things that are helpful. So I used the framework of goal, format, warnings, and context. I created these couple of prompts. Like prompt number 1 was create a timeline for a one-day company conference for 200 people. Put the timeline in 15, 30, and 60-minute chunks of time with length of the segment. Then the start time is 8 a.m. and the end time is 10 p.m. I said, don't give me fluff. I don't want like the before, you know how like ChatGPT sometimes gives like an intro, like, oh, you're a rainbow and you're a Skittle. I don't need to hear that. I just want the timeline. And then the final context that I gave it is the company is a car manufacturer and they're getting their sales team together and they want it to be motivating. So that was the first prompt that I fed into it. And as you can see, it did not give me any fluff. It gave me exactly what I looked for. It gave me the time chunk because that's what I feed into the timeline builder, the length. Because if I change this length right here, like let's say I change it to now I want it to be 40 minutes, it's going to change everything. So it was 8 to 8:30, it's now 8 to 8:40, and it changes everything thereafter. I'm going to change this back to 30 minutes. So I really like to rely upon the length right there for a lot of the events that I work with. And then finally, I asked it these next 2 prompts. This was for the actual duck game. But for the car manufacturer, I actually rewrote it. Instead of putting rubber ducks, I was like, well, what if they just buy little Matchbox cars and put those around the event because it's a car, obviously for a car company. So the prompt that I put here, you can see at the top is write instructions for a game during the conference where attendees are looking for Matchbox cars hidden around the conference center. I need printed instructions for the sign and instructions for an MC to give from stage. Name the game as well, so I asked for a name, and then make the instructions bullet point format for the MC. Don't make it too long, that's the warning. And there are 200 cars. The person that finds the most cars wins a gift card worth $200. So these prompts are super helpful for giving instructions as an MC from the stage. And then number two, the second prompt that you can see here is this prompt is all about the checklist and the needs for the game. So write a checklist and items to buy or things that we need to bring for the hidden Matchbox cars. Give me the items in easy to read and understand language. Don't make it expensive. And this is for the game, and I gave it that context just to make sure I'm super clear on what game we are playing. So I fed that into the event builder, AKA Builder AI Event Assistant. You can see that the first prompt that I gave it, it named it Turbo Treasure Hunt. I love that name, alliteration. We've got going on there. And then it gives us how to play. It gives the MC instructions and different things like that. And then finally, there is the organizing, like the checklist, items to buy, items to bring, optional enhancements that are things like that. Now, I have not actually read through all these, so we're going to do this live right now. This is the first time I'm reading through these. I did feed it in, so I had it prepped, but I wanted to see what it came up with live with you all here. So how to play, you're going to search for small Matchbox cars hidden around the venue. Clear, easy to understand. Collect as many as you can during the conference. Again, clear and easy to understand. Turn in your collected cars at the registration desk by 3 p.m. on the final day. Love it. The attendee who finds the most cars wins a $200 gift card. All cars must be turned in to qualify. So this is really simple, really easy to understand. I love these instructions. I would keep this. I might like maybe add to it a couple of things, but this is very clear. Like you can put this in a poster next to maybe it's a pile of cars that's going to grab people's attention, or going back to this post from Liz, where you can see that she had, they had a glass jar with even like a picture. So you can put these signs. If you have this one poem, you can put it in multiple places, and you can keep the ducks, AKA the cars in this instance, in one single location also. All right, so these would be the MC instructions. So imagine your MC has a piece of paper. Imagine the MC has a piece of paper or a white note card, and they're reading like these instructions from the screen. This is what you would be putting on here. All right, so again, we're gonna see, let's see if we can zoom in on this because it's a little bit small. Here we go. Okay, so welcome to our Turbo Treasure Hunt. Clear, easy to understand. We've hidden 200 Matchbox cars throughout the conference center. Yes, love that bullet point, easy to read, easy to say. Your mission is to find as many of these tiny treasures as possible during the event. Look everywhere, under chairs, near plants, by the coffee stations, but please respect private areas and staff-only sections. Love that warning and that disclaimer. Collect the cars as you find them and keep them with you at 3 p.m. on the final day. Bring all your cars. Now, I want to go back to this for a second. Please respect private areas, because we're about to get to this line where it says the person who collects the most cars wins a $200 gift card. As soon as you say that, some people will just go nuts over this, a game like this. So this is really important because if you're going to share something like this, where you're giving away a $200 gift card, then people are I can see people that are very competitive and that want to win $200 going into private areas thinking like, oh, well, maybe they put it in here, and they might even use it as just an excuse to go back behind the scenes. But I can also see it where people are just going and they're not even thinking about it. They're not reading signs. They're going into areas where they really shouldn't be. So that's a really important key piece to share right there. All right, so at 3 p.m. on the final day, bring all your cars round to the registration desk. The person who collects the most cars wins a $200 gift card. We said that. You must turn in all your cars to qualify for the prize. So you don't hold on to little cars, that kind of thing. Although if I were at this event, I might probably cut that line and just say, hey, make sure you don't throw them away. They're not just like trash. Keep them, take them home to your kids, things like that. In case of a tie, we'll have a quick drawing. As an MC, I probably wouldn't do a drawing. I'd do like a dance off or do a rock, paper, scissors battle or something like that. And then really simply, good luck, happy hunting, and don't forget to attend the sessions because you want people coming in and not just hunting for cars the whole time. Now, one of the great things about an event like a conference is a lot of times people get these bags. You get like swag bags where you get these trinkets and goodies, and so they can put them in there. Now, the next piece is going to be the checklists, the organizer checklist. So here we've got a planning checklist. We've got an items to buy and bring checklist with essential items and then optional enhancements. Let's go through this real quick. So the planning checklist, these are creating, you need to create rules that are handout for participants. So this would be like maybe one per table or one even per person, and you have them at their seat as they enter into the conference. That's a great idea. Then design a tracking system for the found cars. So that would be when someone goes to the registration table at 3 p.m. to turn in everything, they need to have like a piece of paper where they can put the person's name and how many they got in order to make sure that you are keeping track and there's actually like a winner announced, because there's going to be some money on the line. People are going to hold you to that. Then map out your hiding locations. Yeah, you can probably do this on the site visit. I don't know if that's something that I would add to the checklist because it's going to be like I would say, yes, schedule times for hiding the cars, but then you might not need to map out everything. I would just say, just go ahead and do it. And then you can create a social media announcement. If you're going to be at the conference, here's the two things that I would do instead. Number one is I would say it from stage at the very beginning and then remind people throughout the day whenever you have a break or whenever the MC goes on stage. And you can even do like an update. So instead of maybe creating a social media announcement, I would maybe create like a slide to go on the screen. And that slide, what you're going to do is you're going to, with the slide, you're going to put up like the number of cars that people have found. So put up their names. People love seeing their names being highlighted. And then you can also put up different things like how many cars they found, maybe even a picture of some of the cars that have not been found yet, things like that. All right, moving on. Prepare the collection station. So that would be like the registration table. You can probably scratch that one off. Arrange for the $200 gift card. Yes, you want to have that in your hand for the end of the day. And then brief the staff and the volunteers on the game rules. That way they are not throwing away things. And be sure to notify the hotel staff or the conference or the venue staff as well. 100% yes and amen. All right, so essential items. You need, of course, the 200 cars. You need small number stickers for the car. Yes, going back to this post, you can see that that's what they did. They had number 21, 48, 22, 84. This would be a really fun way to add in another gift card. Like let's say you have another $50 gift card or a $25 gift card, or you have like hats and shirts and things to give away. What you could do is you could not only give them away to people like that, the big $200 gift card, but you could say, hey, who has found car number 55? And this is our 55th year in business, and we're going to give you a $55 gift card. That would be just like a really fun thing to do. But also it serves as a point because at the end of the day, you can say, all right, how many do we have? Which car are we missing if we need things like that? Now going back to this list, let's see, tracking sheets. Yep, or digital tracking systems. That would be at the registration table. So you just need to print that off, design it, create it. Signage for the collection point, 100%. And then the $200 gift card, yes. Next, these are optional ones. The colored stickers to categorize their cars, small plastic bags, printed maps. So these would be like if you want to have like, okay, the first person to find all of the blue cars, or maybe they're all the same color, maybe all the same cars with blue stickers wins X prize. Or, hey, you can divide the whole room up into colors. So, hey, there's a blue side of the room and a red side of the room and a green and a yellow and an orange. And these are groups of people. And the blue has to find all 35 blue stickered cars. And if you find a red sticker car, you cannot take it. You have to leave it. You can come up with games and things like that for twists. Printed maps with hot zones. That's a fun idea in case you think it's really difficult for people, although it might not be that necessary. And then inexpensive additional prizes. I mentioned that earlier. Love that. Digital cameras and phone. Like that would be you can create a hashtag if you want to, or create a link where people can upload pictures of themselves finding cars. And then if you want to say, hey, we need these are for things for the people to bring, so a conference badge, their phone, or a small bag to collect the cars 100%. And then here's some additional, this is not something that I asked for, but this is some money saving tips. Thank you, Builder, for money saving tips. So this is how I would play this game. Very simply, you need a container, you need a collection of items like rubber ducks or cars or something like that, and you need some really simple, clear instructions that are 1, printed, and then 2, ready for your MC, your host, whoever is going to be giving the instructions from the stage, and be sure to do that. This is a really, really fun idea. If you do this, I guarantee people are going to love it, and they're going to look for something like that year in and year out, or they're going to come back and be like, hey, what are we doing this year? As I mentioned in this video, I used Event Builder's builder system and the timeline system. Anybody can sign up to use both of these for free. You can create up to 3 events completely free, well, with some certain limitations, unless you want to upgrade and go to a Pro or a Plus. But you can do this for free using the builder tool as well as using the timeline tool. And not only that, I'm going to put a link in the descriptions below to all of these prompts that I use to create the one-day conference and the duckies for the game. All you got to do is go to the link in the description, drop in your email, and I'll send it to you. And if you want to go deeper into what does it look like to create these prompts yourself, be sure to check out this video where I go into AI prompt engineering for event planners.